Hello everybody, you're here with Claudia Beauty with your host Claudia Lara. So this is going to be a quickie. So I have on my face the Wonder Beauty foundation. This is a full coverage foundation. And I usually don't wear this kind of foundation, but I have this on. So one of you asked me if I saw any difference on the difference in the two DIORs, the new reformulated powder natural velvet versus the older extreme control powder on DIOR, right? So I have this and this. They're different colors. This is number 20 and this is 1.5. I think only this year with the reformulations they came out with the half 1.5 and things like that. So I didn't like the 10, that's why I have the 20. I actually own a 10 and then a 20. But I was in between, so I ordered the 1.5 on the new one. And it seems a little lighter, but it works. Anyhow, so I wanted to try, now that I have a full foundation on, and it is, you know, if you saw my video on the review on this, you can wear it as a foundation with absolutely nothing on. I've seen some people use it with the foundation and then you use this as a powder on top to sort of set or dry if it's a very emollient foundation. So in this case, I wanted to try, because that's more or less how I use it when I do my full makeup and then I go out and if it's sweating so I retouch my makeup with this powder. That's more or less how I use it. Or yes, if I'm in a hurry and I didn't put foundation and I just want to cover here and there, I also use it that way. However, the question was, which of the two, if there were a difference, and especially with oil control. Now, it is a little hard for me to answer with the oil control because my skin is dry. So I don't get oily. It's not really the issue. I might get a little, glossier because of the foundation, like if it's glowy foundation or if it's a wet foundation, like I said, that's when it might look a little glowier or oilier, but it's not really my skin going on there. You know, I know girlfriends of mine and family members, they buy the rice paper to dry the actual oil, so they have more oily skin, and that works great. So I can't really answer, that's long story short, about oil control. However, when I do go out, I do sweat, and especially when I'm dancing or the makeup starts becoming dull or just uneven, I do apply this. So that's what we're gonna try right now. One side with the new one and one side with the other one. And I'll tell you, because even though I've used it my whole life, it was hard for me to just out of memory see which one is better. I mean, let's try first the new reformulation. I do know this one it's not that it's drier, but it felt more powdery. And so in a sense, I will be more scared to put this one on top like I'm doing with the full coverage foundation that I have on. But that's why I'm curious, because I don't know. I don't know if it will make a difference texture-wise. Because so far, look how beautiful it's looking. Mattifying, dullifying, really. Because you see this? And this foundation is nice. Full coverage. So you see how this one is looking, and look how this is just smoothing it up. And it's not just the camera. This is really happening in real life. Yeah, I think it is transferring to camera what this is doing. So if I was sweating or I was more emollient, I think this will work wonders for sure. And look at that. Wow. I love this powder. You know, and I have a video where now the one we're going to try has been my favorite magic powder. Let's see if that is the case. Unfortunately, well, I do have this other sponge. Oh, great. Now, this is not the sponge I just used. The sponge I just used has this color, which is kind of silkier, and this one that is more absorbent. and it's supposed to go differently according to which side. I use the silk side. This one is a regular sponge, but that's how where you were supposed to use it. And if you own this, because that's the subscriber that asked me, she had just bought this because I think, I don't know, I guess it's still in circulation. All right, so it applies differently. I can already feel it. How? That's the thing. This one feels, wow. So this one feels lighter, but more moist, if that makes sense, because this is a powder. It feels lighter, but less drying. But this one, I don't think it's drying my skin, but it just feels like it. This one feels a little lighter, comfortable. But believe it or not, I don't know if it's translating in camera. It looks more powder than this side. You see how this became my skin? This one became my skin too. I mean, this one was my favorite of favorites. But if I'm comparing this with this, this looks more my skin. And this one looks more on top, covering. Now, they're both smoothing and they're both, I mean, gorgeous. So if you have this, which is the extreme control, I would enjoy it. I mean, what I'm talking about here is minute. I mean, only looking like we are right now and really analyzing, you could tell the difference. So, can you see? This one, a little more all over. It looks like a, what do you say, level, like a silk something that you put on top of everything. This one kind of became my skin, but it has a smoothing effect. Wow, so hard to describe. I mean, because like this one, you can still see here, right? The levels might even emphasize a little that wrinkle. You see here? Nothing. Wow. So I guess they both have pros and cons. I mean, look at under my eyes. I didn't use concealer. So I would have used concealer, but without concealer. You see how this smooths? Because this one put a full coverage all over. Although, I don't know why I can't find the word, like a thin something all over. And this one became my skin. I mean, you see still a little purple there, so it seems less coverage, but it's smoothing as well, right? This one might look a little more powder. You know, like when you see the light hits your skin in a certain way that you kind of see your little, what do you call the hairs? There must be a nicer way to put the little hairs that are in your skin, because I don't shave or anything like that. I know some women do, but I don't. So when the light hits me a certain way, you can see a little bit my hairs, and perhaps you could see a little bit of the powder lightly. That's how that reminds me. Oh my God, so beautiful, both. I love DIOR powder. I hope I'm making sense. Maybe I'm not making sense at all. I'm trying to respond your question, but so, okay, bottom line. Let me organize my thoughts. Bottom line, if you have the old versus the new, don't worry, enjoy, because it works the same. I mean, not the same, but extremely similar. The new one, obviously, the fact that it's the new one helps, you know, with brainstorming, or I don't know. It just looks nice. It works different, but as you can tell, less coverage. It is 0.5 instead of 2, so it's a little lighter. Maybe that we're seeing a difference as well. Now, oil control. If I was dancing and sweating and I put this cover on, I think because of the moist or the way it is or the one, I think it will set. I've used it like that and I know that's what it does. So I think it dried me very quickly. So smooth it up and take the oils out. But I think by doing this, it also kind of dries you out with this new one. Yeah, it's very hard to tell. I will have to really sweat and then put this one. I know for a fact this one looks amazing. And also I know for a fact this one I use with a brush and it looks amazing. This one I haven't liked using the brush as much. I think we settled that in the video when I am reviewing this one. Yeah, what I can do real quick here, let me see if I have it here. Caudalie. Have you ever used this before? This is grape water, smooth and moisturizes. Okay, for sensitive skin, much better, right? So let's do both sides. All right. Ooh, that felt good. Do you have this? Have you ever used it? Well, doing that make my whole face wet, okay? So, not looking at this, ooh, see, I see my little pelitos, my little hairs. I like that. I think it's sweet. All right, so a little bit of, see what happens with the powder. What do you guys think? I like both. It's so minute the difference. I mean, it would be sort of hard. Maybe it is how much you put on. Maybe it could be the foundation I'm wearing. But I don't see much difference. I mean, perhaps tiny little bit. I would prefer the Extreme Control for drying the oils or mixing with the wet and the dry sort of thing. Yeah, believe it or not, I might prefer the older just because it has more coverage. So I feel, okay, here's the thing. So if I had my whole makeup done and I go out and I'm dancing and whatever, and I feel everything drooping or everything feeling tired or whatever, and I apply the powder, I think this one ramp me up a little bit more than this one. Don't you think? Just because it covered a little more thing, it didn't infatuate that line, etc., right? Look at that. Feels coherent versus this. Now, this is not to say I wouldn't buy the new one. It's just to say that don't feel bad if you have the old, and if you have the new, that's what you use. I mean, yeah. Terrible conclusion. I'm sorry about that, but they both work. It's the same product, just reformulated. So don't blame me for that. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I like both. That's my conclusion. There you have it. So now we went forever in this video for something so simple. I apologize for that, but we wanted to play and answer your question. There you have it. Thank you very much for watching. Very refreshing. Like this. The scent doesn't smell like luxurious or whatever. It just maybe a little, it doesn't smell like alcohol or anything, but it was refreshing. It felt refreshing. Not sure what you use this. Maybe if I don't have a full foundation on, it will feel a lot more refreshing for my skin. But there you have it. There you have it. Okay. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Please ring the bell in the right-hand corner. Please comment down below. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.